Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. The shocking events of Drew Cain's second shooting have cast a dark shadow over Port Charles, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats and clamoring for answers. The latest developments in Drew's storyline have revealed an intricate web of manipulation, deceit, and brewing danger, particularly surrounding Curtis, Trina, and Kai. While these characters may have appeared to act on their own volition during the harrowing night of Drew's shooting, closer examination reveals that Portia has been pulling the strings behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways that could have far-reaching consequences for everyone involved. In classic General Hospital fashion, the lines between ally and adversary blur, leaving the audience to question who can truly be trusted as the drama intensifies. Portia's influence over Curtis, Trina, and Kai cannot be overstated. These three individuals, though competent in their own right, have each found themselves subtly guided by Portia's manipulations, often without realizing it. Curtis, known for his principled nature and sense of justice, has been drawn into situations where his decisions, though seemingly independent, have served Portia's overarching agenda. Trina, impulsive and passionate, has acted with an intensity that can be both admirable and dangerous, yet her motivations during the night of Drew's shooting appear to have been nudged in directions she might not have chosen on her own. Kai, enigmatic and unpredictable, has been an especially malleable piece in Portia's chess game, executing actions that have furthered Portia's goals under the guise of his own agency. Together, these three characters became instruments in a plot that could have catastrophic consequences, not just for Drew, but for everyone connected to him. The night of Drew's shooting itself was a masterclass in suspense and intrigue, and Portia's fingerprints are unmistakable upon its unfolding. Every decision made by Curtis, Trina, and Kai during this volatile night can be traced back, in some form, to Portia's calculated influence. Perhaps it was a word whispered at just the right moment, or a seemingly innocuous suggestion that set their paths into motion, but the result was the same. Drew found himself in mortal danger, and the chaos surrounding him only intensified. The brilliance of this narrative lies in its subtlety. Unlike a heavy-handed plotline, where manipulation is obvious, Portia's control is nuanced and cleverly executed. Viewers can see the effects of her influence without always understanding the depth of her orchestration, which adds layers to the storytelling that are as intellectually satisfying as they are thrilling. Amid this storm of intrigue, Stella Henry's recent prediction about Drew's future adds another layer of tension. Stella's blunt admonition, "I wouldn't be shocked if someone else decided to take a shot at you," rings with ominous significance. In the world of soap operas, and particularly in General Hospital, such a statement is rarely idle chatter. Stella is known for her sharp perception and unflinching honesty, traits that have often put her ahead of the curve when it comes to predicting imminent danger. Her remark suggests that Drew is not done facing mortal peril, and that a second assailant may emerge, further complicating his already precarious situation. While the identity of this potential shooter remains unknown, the mere suggestion fuels speculation and heightens the suspense for fans. It also underscores Drew's growing vulnerability. Despite his self-assured, sometimes arrogant demeanor, he remains a target in a world where power dynamics are constantly shifting. The potential introduction of another shooter into Drew's storyline is a testament to the writer's commitment to keeping the drama unpredictable. By hinting at a new threat, they have opened the door to a range of narrative possibilities, each of which could challenge Drew in different ways. It's not merely a question of physical survival. Such a development would also test his relationships, his judgment, and his capacity for trust. The suspense lies not just in whether Drew will survive another violent encounter, but in how he will respond to the escalating dangers around him. His interactions with Curtis, Trina, and Kai, each of whom is entangled in Portia's manipulations, will likely become even more fraught, as loyalties are tested and secrets are revealed. The audience is left to wonder, if another shooting occurs, will Drew recognize the hand of manipulation behind it, or will he be blindsided once again by those he thought he could trust? Portia's strategic positioning of Curtis, Trina, and Kai is central to this tension. Curtis, whose moral compass often guides his actions, may find himself wrestling with guilt and doubt as the consequences of his manipulated decisions come to light. Trina, driven by emotion, could be caught in a whirlwind of regret and confusion, questioning whether her impulsive choices were truly her own or merely the product of Portia's subtle influence. Kai, whose unpredictable nature makes him a wild card, may either rise to the occasion in unexpected ways or contribute further chaos, depending on how he interprets Portia's direction. This interplay of free will versus manipulation is a fascinating aspect of the storyline, highlighting how easily even the most well-intentioned characters can be swayed by external forces. Moreover, Drew's own hubris and arrogance exacerbate the situation. Throughout his tumultuous journey in Port Charles, Drew has exhibited a tendency to believe he can control outcomes and navigate danger with ease. This overconfidence, however, has repeatedly placed him in precarious positions, and the potential for a second shooting underscores the risks of underestimating the world around him. Stella's remark functions as both a warning and a narrative foreshadowing. It reminds Drew, and the audience, that actions have consequences, and that arrogance can blind even the most capable individuals to looming threats. If the writers follow through on this storyline, Drew's next brush with violence could serve as a humbling turning point, reshaping his character and relationships in profound ways. Stella's pointed commentary also resonates with the audience on a meta-narrative level. Many viewers have grown weary of Drew's self-serving tendencies and questionable ethics, making Stella's bluntness feel like a cathartic voice for the fans. In articulating what viewers may have been thinking all along, Stella bridges the gap between character and audience, creating a shared sense of anticipation and anxiety. Her warning that another shooter could emerge intensifies the drama while simultaneously validating the audience's frustrations with Drew's conduct. Soap operas thrive on this interplay of character insight and audience expectation, and Stella's role as both a commentator and a predictor underscores her importance in the unfolding narrative. The intricate web of manipulation surrounding Curtis, Trina, and Kai also raises compelling questions about moral responsibility and accountability. If these characters are acting under Portia's influence, to what extent are they culpable for their actions? Are they innocent pawns, or do they bear some responsibility for the consequences of their manipulated behavior? This moral ambiguity adds depth to the storyline, challenging viewers to consider the ethical dimensions of manipulation and control. It also enhances the suspense, as audiences are left to speculate about how each character will respond once the truth of Portia's influence comes to light. Will alliances fracture? Will unexpected alliances form? The possibilities are endless, and each scenario carries the potential for dramatic revelations and emotional upheaval. In addition to the interpersonal dynamics, the storyline underscores the broader theme of unpredictability in Port Charles. Even the most carefully laid plans can unravel when human emotions, rivalries, and personal ambitions collide. Portia's manipulation of Curtis, Trina, and Kai is a masterful demonstration of strategic foresight, yet it also carries inherent risks. Any misstep or unforeseen reaction could trigger a cascade of unintended consequences, potentially endangering not only Drew but also Portia herself. This tension between control and chaos is a hallmark of General Hospital storytelling, keeping viewers invested and eager for the next twist in the saga. Stella's prediction of another potential shooting also heightens the stakes for Drew's survival and character development. If he does face a second assailant, the experience may force him to confront his own vulnerabilities and reassess his approach to danger and relationships. It could also catalyze changes in his interactions with Curtis, Trina, and Kai, especially if he begins to recognize the extent of Portia's manipulations. Such developments would not only serve as compelling drama but also offer opportunities for character growth and evolution, making Drew's journey more nuanced and emotionally resonant. The possibility of another shooter also opens the door for new narrative threads, introducing fresh suspense and complexity to the storyline. Who might this second assailant be? Could it be someone entirely unexpected, motivated by revenge, jealousy, or a hidden agenda? Or might the threat come from within Drew's circle, exploiting his vulnerabilities in ways that are both shocking and revealing? The uncertainty surrounding this potential danger keeps viewers on tenterhooks, ensuring that every scene carries the weight of anticipation and the potential for surprise. Ultimately, the events surrounding Drew Kane's second shooting, coupled with Portia's manipulations of Curtis, Trina, and Kai, and Stella's foreboding prediction, create a richly layered narrative full of suspense, ethical ambiguity, and emotional intensity. The interplay of character motivations, hidden agendas, and looming threats exemplifies the best of General Hospital storytelling, blending intrigue, drama, and psychological complexity in a way that captivates audiences. As viewers speculate about what comes next, they are drawn into a world where every action has consequences, where trust is fragile, and where the line between hero and villain is constantly shifting. For Drew, the coming weeks could bring unimaginable danger, profound revelations, and opportunities for growth. For Curtis, Trina, and Kai, the consequences of Portia's manipulations may force them to confront their own choices and allegiances, reshaping relationships and alliances. And for fans, Stella's bold pronouncement serves as both a thrilling tease and a reminder that in Port Charles, suspense is never far away, and chaos is always just around the corner. In conclusion, Drew Kane's journey is emblematic of the intricate, high-stakes drama that has long defined General Hospital. The intertwining of Portia's manipulations, Curtis, Trina, and Kai's actions, and Stella's ominous warning creates a narrative that is as suspenseful as it is emotionally compelling. With each passing episode, viewers are reminded that in the world of Port Charles, nothing is as it seems, every action has ripple effects, and the next shocking twist is always just moments away. Drew's story, rife with danger, moral complexity, and unexpected alliances, promises to keep audiences riveted as they wait to see who will survive, who will be exposed, and how the consequences of one fateful night will echo far into the future. The fallout from the night Drew Kane was shot continues to reverberate through Port Charles, and the more details emerge, the more it becomes evident that the events were far from random. Curtis, Trina, and Kai, three individuals whose loyalty, motives, and ethics have already been tested repeatedly, were all entangled in a web of manipulation spun meticulously by Portia. The subtlety of her influence is what makes it particularly dangerous. Curtis, ever the moral compass, believed he was acting in the best interests of justice. Trina, whose heart often dictates her actions, followed impulses that felt personal, yet every decision she made was gently nudged by Portia's unseen hand. Kai, the wild card, unpredictable and cunning, executed his plans with apparent autonomy, yet each move played perfectly into Portia's strategy. Together, their combined actions during the night of Drew's shooting created a perfect storm, chaotic, violent, and yet calculated with a precision that only Portia could orchestrate. Curtis's role that fateful night cannot be understated. Known for his strategic thinking and loyalty to both his friends and the law, Curtis is the type of character who prides himself on being in control. However, Portia's subtle psychological manipulation put him in situations where his sense of duty conflicted with the reality of the circumstances. At key moments, Curtis's decisions were influenced not by what was immediately apparent, but by Portia's clever framing of events, ensuring he acted in ways that would escalate tension and chaos without fully realizing his hand was being guided. His actions, while technically voluntary, were part of a larger plan that positioned Drew directly in harm's way. Every choice Curtis made, from whom to confront to how aggressively to pursue the unfolding events, aligned with Portia's broader objective, creating uncertainty and pushing Drew to a breaking point. Trina, on the other hand, operates from emotion rather than calculated reasoning. Her impulsive tendencies and deep loyalty to friends often place her in morally ambiguous situations. On the night of Drew's shooting, Trina's actions were dramatic, almost theatrical in nature, perfectly suited for the heightened tension of a General Hospital plotline. Yet beneath the surface of her passionate responses lies a subtle influence exerted by Portia. Whether through veiled suggestions or carefully placed emotional cues, Portia ensured that Trina acted in ways that heightened the suspense and left Drew vulnerable. Trina's instinct to act quickly, to confront threats head-on, inadvertently served Portia's goal of orchestrating chaos around Drew. While viewers might interpret Trina's actions as entirely her own, the truth is far more layered. She was a pawn in a grander design, her intentions exploited without her knowledge. Kai's involvement adds another dimension to this intricate scenario. Kai, the unpredictable force, thrives in ambiguity, often operating on instinct, personal motives, or cryptic strategies known only to him. This makes him both a dangerous ally and a potential liability. Portia's genius was in positioning Kai in such a way that his natural tendencies played directly into her plans. By subtly influencing Kai's perception of events and motivating him to act decisively, she ensured that his unpredictable nature became a tool rather than a hindrance. His interventions during Drew's shooting were decisive, precise, and seemingly autonomous, yet they fit seamlessly into the framework Portia had envisioned. The result was a convergence of independent actions that, when taken together, escalated the crisis and increased the peril facing Drew, all while keeping Portia's direct involvement invisible to everyone but the audience. Amid this tangled web, Drew Kane's own characteristics amplify the tension. Drew has consistently exhibited a combination of confidence and arrogance that makes him both heroic and vulnerable. He believes he can control outcomes, navigate danger with precision, and manipulate situations to his advantage. Yet, this hubris often blinds him to the subtleties of other characters' influences, particularly Portia's manipulations. During the night of the shooting, Drew's overconfidence likely prevented him from recognizing the carefully orchestrated nature of the events around him. He reacted to immediate threats without fully considering the underlying orchestration, leaving him exposed and susceptible to further danger. His arrogance is not merely a character flaw, it is a narrative device that heightens suspense, making viewers acutely aware that Drew is being set up for more trials and potentially more violent confrontations. Stella Henry's ominous warning adds an additional layer of foreboding to this already tense scenario. Her comment, "I wouldn't be shocked if someone else decided to take a shot at you," functions as a narrative foreshadowing device, signaling that Drew's ordeal may not be over. Stella, known for her perceptive insight and fearless confrontation of truth, speaks directly to the audience's expectations, blending character perspective with fan sentiment. Her remark serves multiple purposes. It warns Drew, intensifies suspense for viewers, and positions the storyline to escalate in unexpected ways. The notion that another assailant could enter the storyline introduces uncertainty not only about Drew's physical safety but also about the dynamics between all involved characters. It suggests that Drew's prior experiences with violence may be just the beginning, and that the consequences of the night orchestrated by Portia are far from fully realized. The idea of a second shooter significantly amplifies the stakes. If GH writers decide to pursue this narrative thread, Drew could face an entirely new level of danger, potentially altering the trajectory of his character development. Survival would not merely be a matter of physical endurance but would require introspection, strategic thinking, and re-evaluation of trust. The introduction of a second assailant also raises questions about the interconnectedness of the characters' motivations. Curtis, Trina, and Kai may find themselves grappling with guilt, suspicion, and uncertainty as they realize the true extent of their manipulated actions. Their journey towards self-awareness could lead to intense confrontations, emotional reckonings, and unexpected alliances, each of which would deepen the narrative complexity of the show. The ethical implications of Portia's manipulations are particularly compelling. While Curtis, Trina, and Kai acted under her influence, they were still active participants in events that endangered Drew. This raises questions about responsibility and moral accountability. To what degree are individuals responsible for actions undertaken while being subtly manipulated? In this case, Portia's influence blurs the line between free will and coercion, creating a morally ambiguous environment where the consequences of each decision ripple outward unpredictably. Soap operas thrive on such moral complexity, and General Hospital leverages this effectively to generate tension, suspense, and rich character exploration. Drew's potential second shooting also has narrative significance beyond physical danger. It serves as a catalyst for character growth, forcing him to confront the limitations of his control and reassess his relationships. Drew's interactions with Curtis, Trina, and Kai, who have been unwittingly manipulated by Portia, will likely undergo profound transformation. Trust may be broken, alliances may shift, and hidden truths may come to light, reshaping the social and emotional landscape of Port Charles. These developments not only heighten dramatic tension but also provide fertile ground for character evolution, deepening the audience's investment in the storyline. Portia's manipulation extends beyond the immediate actions of Curtis, Trina, and Kai. It represents a larger thematic element of the show, highlighting the power of influence, strategy, and foresight. Her ability to subtly guide others without overt interference illustrates her intelligence, cunning, and understanding of human psychology. Portia's orchestration of events demonstrates that influence need not be overt to be effective, and that true power often lies in guiding others to act in ways that serve one's goals while maintaining plausible deniability. This approach amplifies suspense, as viewers are left trying to discern where Portia's influence ends and genuine character agency begins. The convergence of these factors, the manipulation of key characters, Drew's inherent vulnerabilities, and the potential emergence of a second shooter, creates a richly layered narrative with multiple points of tension. Each character's decisions, whether driven by moral conviction, emotional impulse, or calculated strategy, intersect in ways that heighten the drama and create an atmosphere of uncertainty. The narrative's complexity ensures that viewers are constantly engaged, anticipating the next twist and evaluating how each action will reverberate.